30 minutes of power.
Welcome to 30 Minutes of Power, a podcast dedicated to educate, encourage, and inspire godly people to use their power to empower others. Join your hosts, Jori O'Neill and Nicole Salter, as they share powerful insights on how you can use your God-given talents and gifts to make a positive impact in the world. Welcome back to another lovely episode of 30 Minutes of Power, TOP, your one-stop shop for all things encouragement, entertaining, and motivating with your girls, Nicole D. Salter, Jori D. O'Neill. Welcome to the party, people. Today we are talking about positive mindsets equaling positive outcomes. And again, as always, we are here, empowered women, using our power to empower others. And we encourage and inspire you to do the same. Without further ado, people, Nicole Salter, tell us what we're talking about today, boo-boo.
Everybody. So earlier this week, I decided that I was going to clean my car. And it was very frustrating cleaning my car because I don't have 4 children like Jori, so I don't even know what her car looks like. But if her children are anything like mine, she can get frustrated also. Okay, my car, it had day-old pancakes on the seat, maybe 2 days, possibly 3, I don't know. It had chicken nuggets under the chair, French fries stuck in the crevices. Let me see, what else did my children do? We had the Frosty from Culver's in the back seat cup. You know, it I don't even know how long that was there. And then there was the McDonald's blue drink. Then they had socks, and there was shoes, and there was shirts, and there was karate stuff, and there was just so much stuff in my car. And instead of me getting frustrated, I was like, we're gonna clean out the car. And so I was constantly calling them outside the house because when you say clean, right, that's like kryptonite to them. Like they just melt and turn crippled. Like we clean. Who's cleaning? You want me to clean? And I'm like, you know what? So I called them outside and I put the hose on because we washed the car and everything. And that is what got them excited, seeing the hose in the vacuum. And so we emptied out the car and I felt the need to do a live on Facebook. And the live was about making sure that you know when you are winning in life. And winning can be anything. It can be anything you want it to be. It can be fixing your bed every day for 7 days straight. It can be making sure that your kids get into bed the time that you set for them to get into bed, right? It can be making sure that your children, you sit at the dinner table and eat with your children. And a lot of this stuff is revolved around family because that's the part of life that I'm in right now. However, whatever part of life that you are in, choose something, accomplish it, finish it, and acknowledge it in your life, no matter how small it is. And I just want to share like some stories that have happened in my life with positive and negative thinking. I remember I had a client, a real estate client, and every time I took her to see a house, there was something that she found wrong with it, right? And I'm a firm believer that when you go and see a house, the house speaks to you. The house will say to you, this is it, or the house will say, maybe we should pass, or the house will say, this is a hard no, right? And so before we would even get to the house, like I would send her a list of houses with her top must-haves. And she would be like, oh my goodness, I don't think we're ever going to find anything. We haven't found anything yet. Oh my gosh, I have such bad luck. Oh my goodness, the timing is going to be off. Oh my gosh, she was just so negative. And I had to like talk to her, not on the phone, but in person. I had to say to her, listen, if we're going to accomplish anything, we have to change the way we're thinking. We have to make sure that when we're going into these houses, we're not thinking this one is not going to work. We're not looking for the things that are not going to work in the house. Because if we're constantly looking for the things that are not going to work, nothing will ever work. And so she didn't change the way she was completely. However, we found her a house because she started looking at houses. And when she walked in, she looked at the things that she liked. It wasn't, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like it was, oh, I like this feature. I like this feature. And so because she was pointing out the little things that she liked, buying a home wasn't as stressful for her. She was looking at the positive in things. She wasn't looking at the negative, right? Now we looked at maybe about 20, 25 homes, right? However, it could have been more had she kept nitpicking at all of the negative things, you know? Um, and I also have a real estate book. Where is it? I have a it's Jamel, can you get my book for me? I have a real estate book where she was able to use it as we went to all of the different houses also. And in that book, she kind of changed the way she wrote things down. It wasn't always I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like this. I had to explain to her, let's start changing the way we think. Let's start looking at things in a positive light. For those of you that are watching, here it is. It's my home buying journal. And it's pretty much a book that just allows you to keep track of all of the houses that you look at. And so it has different spaces for you to circle and write things. And when I created it for quick thinking. So that way, as soon as you look at it, you see what you like, you see what you don't like, and you can move on. My book did help her a lot because after seeing 10 houses in a day, she was able to go home and say, oh, we definitely can't live with this. Let's scratch this out. We definitely can't live with this. Let's scratch that out. However, with us going to houses with that positive light, she was more open to looking at a lot of houses instead of saying, oh my gosh, I don't know why we're going out to look at houses today. It's so stressful. I'm not going to find one that I like. Another thing that that happened in my life when it comes to changing your mind is my husband is a minimalist. He'd like to tell you that. He does not like a lot of things. He is the type of person that feels like a woman should have only 5 pairs of shoes. Clearly, he doesn't know who he married. Clearly, he doesn't know who he married. And so lately, I have been adapting his lifestyle, which I'm pretty sure he loves. And I've been throwing a lot of things away. And so instead, the change your mindset part comes, right? Instead of me saying, oh, I'm going to save that because I might need it later, I'm more like, if we need it later, we'll figure it out. We don't need it right now. I can't think of anything we need it for right now, so let's throw it away. And you know what? Having a lighter house, it just gives you a different feel, a different outlook on life. And it's just great. And so the little accomplishments that I've been having in my own life are keeping my bedroom light, trying to keep my kids' rooms light, making sure that the common areas are light. And I don't do everything in a day. I may do my bedroom one day, and then I may do the living room one day, and I may do, the kitchen another day. But I don't try and accomplish these things all at one time. And it's just it's so much so much more peaceful when there's organization and clutter free in your personal space. I don't know, Jori, how do you feel about that?
Well, again, my congestion is due to decluttering.
Right. Yes.
Right.
It's funny that you just said that.
So I'm digging all of this. For us, we were blessed when we bought this house. As you are aware, part of Jamel's unloading and being a minimalist was donating a lot of things to us. And so our dining room set, right? Like lots of, I can look around the house and be like, oh, that's from Nicole and Jamel. And, And so now, like, we've been in this space for 4 years. We're like, all right, we've been blessed. People have given us a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, we have 4 kids, but do we need 7 dressers? We have 4 kids. Do we need 8 beds in the house?
Yep.
We have 4 kids, but we've condensed them to 2 rooms.
Right.
Do we need 6 rooms of furniture?
Right.
Do we need 2 dining sets? And so this is where we're in this space now, like decluttering. And so I'm reading a book called Do More with Less, and I should have read chapter 6 first, because he's walking through like which rooms to start with and decluttering, and he's like, don't start with your kitchen. And so we started with the kitchen. And so listen, the kitchen is, it's so many nooks and crannies and crevices, and drawers and cabinets, and you know, because it's one thing to like organize, and then there's another thing to like remove.
Yep.
Because in the removal, it's like, are we throwing it away? Are we selling it? Are we donating it? Like, what is this? Right. And so that's where we are right now. And I cleaned out my entire dresser. When I say I cleaned out my entire dresser, so Ron and I had a shared dresser, 6 drawers. He got 3, I got 3. All my 3 is empty. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 drawers, 3 in my nightstand, and then 3 in the dresser. I emptied those 3 out. I emptied 1 in my nightstand. So right now I'm rocking with just the wardrobe and 2 drawers.
When
All
you
my
say you emptied
clothes.
them out, you threw clothes away, you donated?
So part of what the book suggests is that you put something in a box and you put the box away. And if you do not go in that box for over a month, then you need to rethink, is this a necessity? And so with the seasons changing over, a lot of those clothes were like swimsuits. I ain't going to nobody pool anytime soon.
Right.
I'm in a 4 weather season space. I'm not where you at, where it's like, well, I go to the pool any day. I went to the pool on Christmas. You know, like, I don't have that lifestyle. So there are certain clothes.
It's a great feeling.
That, listen, hey, more power to you. I like covering all my situation. I like covering it. A lot of those are seasonal clothes, but as I roll the kids' clothes over, there's a box. I'm just like, donation. Like Jordan put on an outfit today. I was like, hey, I need you to go upstairs, take that off, and put it in the donation
Put
box.
it in the box. Yes.
But the fact that there is a donation box that everybody knows and is aware of, like, I don't have to then take extra time to go back through her clothes to do that later. Right. She could do that. And so part of it is freeing. It is very, there's a peace, there's this freedom when you just release stuff. And like, I'm not having like writer's block per se. I'm just like, there's no flow, like feng shui and all that stuff. Like, it's like way too much stuff. It's way too much stuff. Right. And so, and Ron is like, hey, he woke up this weekend and he just went to, I didn't ask nothing. He just started opening drawers and cleaning out and throwing away stuff and organizing all the bows. And I was like, yay, like this is a movement now. Now it's a movement. Before it was just Jori's crazy idea. Now it's like we are doing this collectively. Now, I was a minimalist. He married me. I was a minimalist. I literally lived in like a corner sliver of a bedroom with a twin size bed and 1 desk, no dresser.
Wow.
No dresser. I folded and hung all of my clothes in those little hanging situations that you put.
Right.
And I rolled up shirts and I stuck them in shoe thingies that you hang up. I had no dresser. And I was great. I was like, oh, there's certain events I don't go to, so I don't need these clothes for this thing. Like, you know, God bless you all in Facebook land, but I don't need your approval. Like, I don't, when I put clothes on, I'm not like, you know, hey, like, I don't, it's not me. It ain't never been me. I was looking at pictures from when I was like 8, 10, 9 years old. And it seems as though every picture, I just look angry that someone is taking a picture. Like, I just look angry. Listen, a lot of stuff happened when I was growing up, but now I'm like, I'm smiling. I'm happy that you're taking a picture of me, not because of what I'm wearing, but just because I'm happy with me on the inside. Like, I feel good about me on the inside. And so I want to feel good about my house on the inside. Like, on the outside, look nice. We got landscapers in the backyard because I'm like, look, I can't. I mean, I can. I just choose not to. Like, there's a certain number of hours in a day, and my time, I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not. And they are reasonably priced, but I was very close to like getting maids. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I was like, I went, hey, what is your price? When can you come and do like a little walkthrough? And I was like,
really?
Why do you need maids? And I was like, cause I don't want to clean all this. And I'm like, if you don't want to clean all this, don't get rid of it. And I was like, yes, freedom, yeah. Yeah.
Mindset change. That's
the thing. I had to write it down. For me, like, everything is about written, like, contextual. Yes. Like, once I wrote down, why do you need a maid? Because who else is gonna clean all this stuff? Why do you need all this stuff? And it was like, when you pick someone and you ask them a question, and it's the bubbles, the dots. Like, that's how I felt when I wrote, why do you need all this stuff? I don't. So get rid of it. Just that easy. And so now, like, we're on a journey, and I'm happy about this journey. I went through all my dresses. Nicole D. Salter, you've known me for quite some time. You could probably count on your pinky toe how many times you've seen me in a dress.
You're right. We had a big birthday dinner for you, and you still had on pants.
Absolutely. I was cute in my pants, but absolutely.
That's right.
But I had a whole bunch of dresses. Some of them still had tags on them. I'm like, who possessed me and went and bought all these dresses? Who was like, we are going to take over Jori's brain. We are going to pretend that we actually are going to wear this. And we're not. So, but I know for me, this is part of like the healing journey and process of not only decluttering, but like figuring out the why underneath it. Like, a lot of my purchases, they're just so I feel like I'm in control or I have power. Like, they're really a substitute. They're not something that I actually want to do. It's a replacement for something else that I'm lacking or I'm not acknowledging. And so I'm happy we're talking about positive mindset equals a positive outcome, because my mindset is now like, I don't need these things. Like, when I was brought up to think like, I need this just in case. I need this just in case. No. Yes. I can repurpose that. No. I can use this for this other, right? And while repurposing does have its place, I was raised by a baby boomer. So that was her mentality, to hoard and to keep things and never let them go just in case. You never know when company's coming and you need this 85th towel. You never know when you need this 20th comforter. You never know. I
think our parents were related.
No. But this is the generation that they were raised in, where there was scarcity. Yep. There was a war. There, like, their spouses or their children served in Gulf Storm, Desert Storm. Yep. Like, so there was a time where, yes, there was scarcity. And that is, for lack of a better term, that is a scarcity mindset.
Right.
And so I don't live in that space. I don't live in that era. I'm not a baby boomer, right? Like I have to confess, y'all. I just learned the other day I'm a millennial. Oh, oh, oh.
Yes.
My whole life, I was like, I'm a Generation Xer. I'm a Generation Xer. And I just came to, just like, I'm a millennial.
Millennial, it is.
And I look down on millennials because I'm like, oh, you guys are something. I don't know. Like, you had technology and you had a smartphone and social media. And I'm speaking like I'm 80, right? But I'm 40 and I am a millennial. So
yep.
I had technology. I had social media.
Yep.
Not like me personally. Growing up, I did not have those things, but they were afforded to people in my generation. But I was raised by baby boomers. I was raised by people who were literally from the Depression. My grandmother was born on a plantation farm. So when you talk about like generational mindsets of scarcity, of lack, of not having enough, this is something that has been passed down to me. It's not something I woke up one day in my millennial body and decided that I was going to take on. So this has to be something that I unlearn. It has to be.
Right.
If I'm to attain peace,
yep,
the type of peace that Christ provides us that surpasses all understanding, I got to let go of some stuff.
Right.
And I did a lot of work letting go of stuff on the inside. Bitter, malice, trauma, hatred, anger, aggression. Did a lot of work. I mean, I even paid people. It was like, hey, talk to me for 45 minutes every week. I give you money, right? Like I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that. And now, like I was dead about to go pay somebody like, hey, come clean my house. Every week I give you money. Like, and I'm like, wait, is this something that I need? Or is it something that I want? And so now that positive mindset equaling positive outcomes. I was positive that I didn't want to pay nobody every week to be coming to my house. I am positive.
That's where I am.
So I need to get rid of stuff because I don't think the Lord would put more on me that I can bear, and he wouldn't give me more than I can handle. So if I can't handle it, then maybe I got too much of it. And then I think about people like you who were like, hey, here, I don't need all this stuff. I'm going to a land where there's milk and honey and swimming during Christmas. I am building my home one brick at a time on the love of the Lord. I build my own walls and I create my own desks and tables. So here you are. You may have this man-made manufactured things. I am going to labor with my love, using the things that God has created to create my own way of being, right? Like there's folks like you who blessed people like me, like, hey, I have, you need here. So like now I want to be that person for somebody else. Like, hey, so I'm saying on the Facebook, anybody need a child's car bed? Come get it. I don't want it. I don't need it. You need a dining set? You need a couch? Come get it. Come get it. I don't want it.
That is
dishes, glasses, cups, tons of stuff. I don't need it. I don't want it. If you have need, not if you want it. No, don't be like, I could use, I didn't need it, but now that you said it, I feel like I do need it. The spirit is tugging. No. You can stay where you at. Some of the other humans who actually have need, who's like, I got a kid who's co-sleeping with me because I can't afford a bed. You come get the bed, put your baby in the bed, get him out your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's healthy. Or you just had a baby and you're like, hey, I got to put this baby somewhere, but I need it close to me. Cool. I got a crib in my garage. I had two. Now I got one. I got rid of the first one. So, you know, I have way too much stuff. I got my youngest is 4. I don't need cribs. I just got rid of a whole bunch of like sippy cups and plates. And it's like, nobody eats off this stuff. Why is this here?
It's you, like we said before, it's that positive mindset and positive outcome type of thing, right? And it's funny that you talk about like building stuff, and if you leave it to Jamel will probably buy everything. But because I am the one that's like, we don't need to pay somebody for that. We could make that. He'll look at me like, we can't make that. You think we can make that? Are you sure we can make that? We can't make that. I'm like, look, we got this. We could do it. And it's that attitude that produces what we make together, right? Because if we're constantly thinking we can't do it, we can't do it, we can't do it, there's nothing to push us to do it, right? But because he has me in the background, like, I kid you not, if Jamel came to me today and said, look, I got a piece of vacant land, what you think we should do? Build a house on it. He'll look at me like, we can't build no house. Yes, we can. No, we can't. Yes, we can. No, we can't. Wait, you think we can? We can build a house? How are we going to build a house? Let's find the plans. We can build a house. You know, and part of that positive mindset, right? It leads you to making sure that you are planning your life out properly, right? A failure to plan is a plan to fail, you know? And so with everything that we have built, I'm the type, I'm not measuring, nope, we're going to figure these measurements out. Jamel will sit down for an hour straight, have his calculator in one hand, the pen in the other, and he is measuring everything down to the 16th. And he will be very proud of me for knowing that there's 16 centimeters.
Yes, there is. I'm so concerned.
No, I mean, when he's doing the centimeters, he doesn't stop at inches. Like, he goes to centimeters. Like,
you have to.
Yeah, that's listen, I can't. Nope. I will measure it. I'll measure to the inch and I'll be like, I think this will fit. But see, me, I'd have to walk back to the miter saw like 5 times to shave everything so that it actually fits, right? He's measuring down to the centimeter. But that makes us the perfect team.
Because he actually counts and you don't. Yeah.
He actually makes sure that it's done properly, right? And so a lot of the things that we make, like some of the walls in our house are extended walls. And like there's a table that we made to go in our kitchen nook, and the table itself is like 8 feet long. An 8-foot table is over $500. And I'm like, number one, they're not going to have it in the exact size that we need. They're not going to make it exactly the way I want it to look. So why not we just make it ourselves? Why not? Why can't we? We have the tools, we have the materials, we can draw it out, we can find the plans online, we can make it ourselves. And it's that positiveness that I'm always saying, we got this, we could do this, where he's like, are you sure? I don't know. And I'm like, we got this. And he's like, all right, we got this.
But see, that's what makes you a dope coach, though. Right? That's what makes you a dope real estate agent. Like, because you go to bat for people. You overcome people's lack of faith with your overabundance of faith and positive thinking and positive mindset, right? Like the client you had was like, oh, I'm never gonna find a house. You're like, now with that attitude, you're not. Right? And finding a house is it took us 4 kids to find a house.
finding a house is not easy.
It's
And a
not.
lot of times people are not realistic. Like I can remember going to I had Naomi strapped to my chest and I was pushing Christopher in the stroller. It was Christmas time and we were with my baby sister Gabrielle. And we were in an area in Brooklyn. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a big popular area during Christmas time because everybody on the strip decorates their house for Christmas. Like they pay people to come and decorate their house. So it's a big thing on this strip in Brooklyn. And we're walking in Brooklyn and we're seeing all of these houses. And some of these houses, like the first floor wasn't until you got up to maybe 14, 15 steps in the front of the house. And they were beautiful houses. And I'm looking at Gabby and I'm like, Gabby, wouldn't you like to live in that house? And Gabby's like, who's taking groceries up them stairs? And I was like, oh. And I wasn't a realtor at that time, but just that comment brought a lot of practicalities into my real estate career. Because when I sit down with you and I talk to you about the different things you want and you need, when you mention something, I'm like, think about it. You just said you don't want to be in a flood zone, but you're looking at inexpensive homes in a high flood zone. So you have to figure out what you want, you know? And that really helps people when it comes to searching and finding something, because people just like to say this is pretty and this is pretty, and no. We're not moving forward by looking at everything pretty. We need to move toward a goal. We got to move toward a goal, you know. And so going to bat for people is something I do, whether it's real estate or it's prayer. Like Jori's really making me push myself out there, but I also have a prayer journal. It's called Workday Grace. It is on Amazon already. And it is a journal full
That's
of
my
prayers.
copy, by the way. That's my copy. I don't know why it's
Yes.
still in your hand. It should be in the mailbox, but that's my copy.
I'm sending it. But it is a journal that is full of prayers that you can start your day with while you're at work. Like all of us got people at work that just get on our nerves. And the prayers in this journal, they're there to help you with that positive mindset and to help you focus on the positive outcomes that you want to happen on your job or even in your own business.
This should be like on everybody's back to school list. Like if you're a teacher, this should be in your shopping cart on Amazon. If you're a parent, this should be in your shopping cart on Amazon. If you're a child, you should buy this for your parent. So you should put it in their shopping cart on Amazon. That's all I'm saying. This needs to be a staple item right next to marble notebooks, rulers, and 24 pack of pencils. Not that they make those anymore.
You know what? I don't think they do. I'm seeing
it's 12 and 48.
Yes.
Can we update our list? Can we do that, please? They don't make 24s. It's 12 and 48. Get it together. Get it together.
It is. But yeah, and the reason I started on this journal writing, I don't know, what are we going to call it? This journal writing section of life is because I feel like there was a time in my life where I was going through a lot. Just moving and trying to get family right, trying to get school right. I wasn't working, stay-at-home mom, but we're not rich. And so me being a stay-at-home mom, I'm like, we can't get no landscaper. I don't got no job. I'll go do the landscaping. Now I'm kind of like, we need a landscaper because it's hot. Cutting grass in 96 degrees is not fun. But you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to make sure that I'm the one raising my children. Just because you're a stay-at-home mom and you're raising your children doesn't mean that it is easy. It has its challenges the same way going to a 9-to-5 has its challenges, and the same way having a job, not a job, having your own business has its challenges, right? And so those are things that I had to deal with. And I felt like all of my friends were in different phases of life, right? Here I am, I'm home all the time waiting for my kids to come out of school, but everybody else is working. So I can't call them and say, look, these are the problems that I'm having. This is what I need you to pray for me for. That wasn't there. And so the journals that I write them to my friends that need prayer when I am not physically there to pray for them. And so it's normally a prayer in the beginning and then space for you to finish the prayer so that you can make it more personable for your life. And so I really enjoy writing the prayers. And a lot of them are about things that I might be going through in my life, right? But they're kind of general so that it's a prayer for you to start and then turn into your own personal prayer. And a lot of it has to do with positive thinking and making sure that you are constantly remembering that you are a child of God and God still loves you no matter what you've done or what you're going through or what you've been through. And so I enjoy writing journals and I enjoy praying for people. I remember at one point I did not enjoy praying for people because I thought that I had to sound a certain way. I thought my prayer had to be a college essay. And one day I realized that when I could not pray for myself and I just needed someone to say, Jesus, touch her, Jesus, be with her. Like, God hears the simple prayers too. God hears the one-liners, God hears the two-liners, God hears the 10-liners, you know what I mean? And so my prayer journals are there for people to help them pray. Because there are times in our lives where we go through things and we can't pray for ourselves. And that goes along with the positive mindsets and positive thinkings. Like, don't think that because you don't have a college essay type prayer, your prayer is not good enough. The fact that you are able to say Jesus's name is good enough. That's good enough on its own.
You keep talking about these college essay prayers. I feel some type of way, like you coming from my neck or something. Like, as you know, I be doing a whole sermon when I be praying and stuff. So I feel some type of way, like you coming from my neck.
Listen, nope, not at all.
No, I'm messing.
I know, but I actually admire college essay prayers. It's just not me. I look at some point in time, we have to realize who we are, right? And although I admire it, and I embrace it, it's not, if I don't have it in me, I'm not going to try and force it out, you know? But I love the way you pray. Like, there's certain prayers in my book where I started it out the way you pray. I did. From our meetings in the past and listening to you pray, I was like, oh, I like that. And I would write it down like, oh, word, we can say that.
So what I hear you saying is I get 2 cents royalty every book.
We'll talk about it.
This is recorded, by the way.
I'm on tape too. Oh boy.
It will uphold in court. So now real talk, like what you just said was actually scriptural, like, right? The Holy Spirit helps us in our weakness so that when we do not know what God wants us, for example, we don't know what God wants us to pray for, but the Holy Spirit prays for us with groanings that cannot be expressed. Like, that's biblical. It's practical and it's biblical. So yeah, like real talk, people, if you're looking for stocking stuffers this Christmas, if you're looking for back to school gift, teacher appreciation, if you're looking for self-appreciation, definitely check out the journals. Support Black business, support Black authors, support Black women sharing their story and their experiences. Just support is super encouraging. But yeah, positive mindset equals a positive outcome. And I am positive that we have gone over 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and land this plane.
Yep.
So three steps that you could take toward a positive mindset. And I wrote it in the chat on Facebook. So if you listening to this on the podcast, go head over to the page and you'll catch it there. Also going to post it on our Facebook group page, Iron Sharpens Iron, AZISI. And so 3 steps you could do to take to create a positive mindset for yourself is to write it down. Again, write down the things that are good, write down the things that are working, the things that are in your favor, right? Knowing what you want, taking some time out in advance and figuring out, okay, this is what I don't want, got it, but what do I actually want, right? Writing those goals. And the third one is speaking to other people who have done what you want to accomplish, right? And so what Nicole shared was that she created these journals so that folks that maybe don't have another person to speak to about some of these things, they can speak to God, because God is always readily available. And she's even created prompts to enter into those conversations, to enter into those prayers. So that's super encouraging, super helpful. Any last thoughts, Nicole? This has been great.
I do not have any last thoughts. I was just happy to be able to share my win. My car is clean. Although I feel like they left their shoes in there today, but it's still clean. Only one pair of shoes. It's still clean. That is my win for this week. I have been making my bed, which is a big thing for me. My mom will tell you. So 2 wins under my belt. Feel free to share your wins in the comments. We love to celebrate with you guys. We love to hear about your wins. Maybe it's a win that we need also.
So good news. My car is cleaned also. 4 kids. It is a hot mess, but my husband was like, let me bless you. And he cleaned my car.
Nice.
So I was like, yay, because I wasn't. We just gonna live and drive around in filth. But it feels good to have a clean car. So like now when they get out of it, I'm like, everybody stop. Like sometimes I lock them in the back and I get out and I'm like, no, you pick that up. No, you're not coming out until you pick that up. You brought that in, you gonna pick it out? Yes, no, sir. No, ma'am. Nope. Not happening. And for me, it's like, your father cleaned this, so I'm gonna honor that. I'm gonna honor his act of service by continuing to maintain this, right? And so I think if we're talking about what do we do to create that positive outcome in celebrating those small wins and celebrating those victories, I think it's the maintenance.
Yes.
Being able to maintain, and you do it one day at a time, Somebody said, yes, Ron wins the Awesome Husband Award. Yes, I will concur. But we took a road trip to Wisconsin and he left a mess in there too. So, so it was twofold. Yes. But yes, he's an awesome, incredible. But listen, we did not start off great. And I'll share about that in another podcast. Our relationship was not great. I had a positive mindset. I was positive that we was not gonna make it. And then Jesus stepped in and here we are 15 years later.
4 kids later.
4 kids later, yes, 4 kids. Yes, 15 years and 4 kids and a partridge in a pear tree. Well, that's it for us. 30 minutes about
yes.
Nicole D. Salter, Jori D. O'Neill. We pray and ask and implore you to go out and be inspiring and encouraging women who use your power to empower others by sharing your story. So again, we want to see your stories in the comments. Share them with us, please. Like us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at 30 Minutes of Power. Join our Facebook group. It's free for now. AZ Iron Sharpens Iron. It's Iron Sharpens Iron. So one woman sharpens another. We'll see you right back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for another 30 minutes of power. Until next time, people. Thank you for tuning in to 30 Minutes of Power. We hope you found today's episode informative and inspiring. To stay connected with us and continue the conversation, follow us on Instagram at 30 Minutes of Power or email us at aziron@gmail.com. Don't forget to visit our website at azisi.org to learn more about our mission and how you can get involved. Remember, your power can make a difference in the world. Let's be folks out there using our power to empower others.
30 minutes of power.